Hi beauties, Lady Paper Moon is back. Today I have got so many things to show you that I was thinking I would, but in the end I won't be at the desk with you. But there's so much stuff to show you, or else things that I forgot to show you or that I promised I would show you when I'm talking along in my videos, and then I end up never showing him because I forget. And so today will be like a potpourri, a mishmash of a few different items. What we see here is a painting of mine which was inspired by the architecture of Luis Barragán, who was a Mexican architect. And I wrote underneath, querido, beloved, estimado, appreciated, adored architect of light, Luis Barragán, because this was his like nickname, architect de la luz. Viva la vida, viva la vida, and viva Mexico. Okay, and this is an acrylic painting, and I was just so, and still am so inspired. If you haven't seen any building or any work by Barragán, then just search in Google, put Barragán, that's all you have to put in there, and go on images, and bam, like this one. This is an oil painting. I did the underpainting with acrylics and later painted over with oils. And this is just a patio. But the way he put the walls and pieces of walls, and he created spaces in the way he put the brick walls, and then he was just talking with colors. And when I saw that first in my life, I was so fascinated, and I just love his work. I wish I could go to Mexico City and have a look myself at some of the buildings, but it's okay. I'm fascinated just like that, from books, from the internet, and all I could ever find about him, and I'm just love it. And I have a book. I have one or two books, but they're incredibly expensive, or they are not available anymore. And Davy, my oldest son, and his girlfriend back then, they threw some money together and they bought a Barragán book for me. And we will do an extra video on just Barragán. But I'm mentioning him sometimes in my videos, and I thought it's about time to show you the paintings and what Barragán is all about. Now, next. Maybe you saw in the last video when I was changing the cover of this sketchbook, put some cozy stuff to the side in order to make the spiral binding less visible, let's put it this way. And I put an extra piece in there that can easily be taken out as well. And I think I like it better this way, without the spirals sticking out so much. And here I couldn't help but to slow stitch around. Love it. And I knew I was gonna do this anyway in the beginning. It just was a question of time when, but I just put the holes in there and then stitched around. And it was quite sturdy, so I had to punch holes with the awl first. Looks nice, I love it. And Yeah, somebody was asking about this. I'm not afraid. I was made for this. The quote by Jeanne d'Arc, the French Revolution in 1789. But this is just a side note. And the elastic band in the back, I just cut it off because it was disturbing me so much. It was bulking up here, upside color and downside as well. It was bulking up so much, I couldn't take it. I took it off completely. And then I was so tracked. I thought, well, now I cut off the elastic binding, I have to replace it. Well, question to the side. Why? Never mind. I was convinced I had to replace it. And I was doing a lousy job here. As you can see, I was just taking an elastic band and elastic band, do you say this like that? Band, ribbon, whatever, the elastic, and just make a knot instead of like going like this and take a needle and sew it down like a good girl. No, I was just doing a bad job on this one, but never mind. I don't even need it at all. And my hubby gave me a compliment. He said, as I see, you altered this cover of the sketchbook. I said, yes, I did. And he said, and as I see, for maybe the first time, you're actually using it. You're using the book. And I said, yes, I'm using it. I'm using it. I'm so proud of myself. Not just making it up and pimping it and making it beautiful and then or selling it or putting it on the shelf. No, I'm using it. Maybe because my son brought this one from Edinburgh and I cannot give it away anyway. So next, this, I have this from Angie Bell from My Fairy Treasures. Hi Angie Bell, in case you're watching. And she always goes like, next, next. Love that. And the other day I was talking about when she was doing a giveaway and she had that bowl full of names of all the people that had left a comment and wanted to participate in the how you say, in the giveaway thing. And I remember it's years ago, but I remember that I was sitting there watching her hands stirring up the little pieces of paper with all them names on there. And she said, and I thought to myself, watch out, she's going to pull my name now for the first winner of the big prize. And she did. Until today, I can't. I just, woof. I never won anything before. I was so happy. But the bad part was that shipping was $50 to get it from Las Vegas to Austria. Not Australia, darlings. Austria, Europe. It was $50. Wow. And I didn't want to accept the price because of that shipping cost. But put a long story short, my hubby, he took care of it and he said, now, come on now, you won the prize and no matter how expensive it's going to be, we'll still get it for you. I just love my husband. Oh, he's awesome. And then next, about my phone, I had an email of a subscriber. She does not want me to mention her name, so I won't. But she said she sometimes sees my cell phone or my mobile, and she wants to know what it's all about, right? Especially the cover and especially what is hanging from the spine of the cover. So I have some bits and bobs in here. It's just a normal Huawei mobile phone, nothing special. And here's some pieces and my own telephone number because I'm unable to tell. And in here I have a timetable from school, from Elia. This is years old, should be thrown away, keep it as a memory. €5, well, some extra money, but that doesn't help at all, because in case I should leave the house, which I rarely ever do, and I should go down in the valley, in the little village there is, and have a cup of coffee, and I should forget my money, then I have some extra money here, but it's useless, because by the time I get there, I have totally forgotten I have some extra money in here. So my brain works in images almost only, and I don't really know. And as you can see here, it's quite used. It's old. It was €4 and €4 shipping from China, the cover. And I just glued some little gemstones and let me put on the light now, it's better. Just some decoration, relief paint, some dots, nothing special. One of these right there. And in the back we don't have anything. Just that it's dirty, but that's all. And the tassel, she was interested. I put some of the cozy, fluffy yarn, which has these fringes. And let me see if yeah, that's better. This is a little rose. I think she's out of plastic. She's supposed to be a button. And the little angel, he's carrying something. I don't know what he's carrying, but his wings, his little legs. Then we have 2 more wings. A little bell. Then Mother Mary. And this looks like a little heart, but it is in fact 2 wings again. So many wings on the tassel, many angels. And it literally says here, angels welcome, just to let them know. But I don't really have to let them know, because they know anyway, because we're working together always. And I'm getting great support from the angels. Always. And here it says serenity. I follow my path. And anything else? Oh yeah, the little sad rose. Look at her, how dirty she is. Sorry. We should replace her, but then she's with me all those years. And the little capuchon thing, which comes in 2 pieces for us to glue together. You can find them in all shapes and all sizes, ovals, big ones, small ones. And I just put a little clock or watch image in there and glued the glass on top, and done. And the last piece is my scissor. No, nothing else. No, that's about it. So I hope Mrs. I hope you're happy now. You have seen what's on the phone, what's hanging on the phone. Next, talking about our crayons. We all have some crayons somewhere, now don't we? We either have this kind of crayons, the slim ones, or the really thick ones, or we have our gelatos, or wax-based crayons, or oil-based. And look, I can't even tell you what that is, see? Because I'm embellishing everything. So later I don't know anything about it. Okay, here it says Jackson's watercolor, water-soluble wax crayons. Good to know. Oof. If you do adore your stuff and embellish it and make it look beautiful when it sits on your desk and stuff, make sure you have yourself a little note somewhere that later on, like this one, on the cover, on the original cover, it says all the details about this sketchbook. It's an artist's sketchbook. It's by Crawford and Black. It's from Edinburgh. It's 60 GSM, and it has 150 sheets. And see, I put down the notes and stuck them in the back for later to remember. And then I have this one. And this is embellished also. Then these, you have seen them. I'm coming to the point in a minute. And this one looks like one of my sons. Had a good use of them at school. I don't remember. See, I just put embellishment on top and I covered it. Say something here is just an address. I don't. Ah, okay, here it says Jolly. This is typical Austrian. Jolly super waxies aquarelle. So watercolor based or water soluble. And this was definitely Davies, as we could see. And what I wanted to show you is that if we have these crayons, we take the small bits like this one. That the red one is a bit wide, but we just snip off a piece. If they're all long, very long, then just break a piece off. And what I wanted to show you is, I don't know if you have seen this. This is a student's book. Students' school book for notebook with this flimsy white paper, absolutely useless. And we were doing the Islamic writing or goddess scripture, as some of us say. I mean, well, we have to fulfill the fact that we are all goddesses, which I hope you agree is absolutely true. Yes, we are all goddesses. So we can do this scripture and call it goddess scripture. Nothing wrong with this. And this is basically, for those who don't know, writing without writing. It's a kind of mark making, if you so will. And this one on the left-hand side I would do with brown permanent marker. This one, the black with a white tip. And here's all kind of pencils, all the blue pencils and markers and watercolor and all I could find. I put it all on this page. And this is already making a quite nice background. And you could also go over this with some gesso. Will look fantastic. Oh, it's so cold. We have -5 Celsius this morning. And yes, I have been sitting outside with the tea again. And now I'm paying the price with the voice. So sorry, darlings. And this kind of scripture reminds me totally of the sumi-e, Japanese calligraphy art, which is coming from China, but then like 3,000-4,000 years ago, it was already going from China to like Japan and Korea. And this spread, I used some wax crayons and did some circles and some different shapes, and then went over with aquarelle or watercolor based paint, and the paper is repelling the paint where the wax is, and you can make quite beautiful effects from that. You could draw like figures or writing or any kind of shape and then go over with watercolor and you will have beautiful effects. And this one and that one. And this one I used the crayon the way it is supposed to be used. Just take it like we do. And this is the effect we have. And here is this kind of, I don't know how to say this in English, darlings, I'm so sorry. This is a metal tip, a white metal tip. And it's like it can be dipped into ink or water. And I think I didn't do a good drawing. I'll try again now for you. Here it's like a sharp edge on the top. and it's a double blade, more or less. Not a blade, but a metal piece. Like my two hands now form a double piece, and it can be soaked into water, or it will soak the water in and will soak the ink. And if you put it on the tip, then you have a very fine line, but if you put it down all the way, you have a super broad line. And this is making such beautiful effects, and this is why I thought about the crayons. We just take a piece of them, I will show you in a minute, and we'll have this broad tip without having to go and search for this tool. This feather I did just with some marker or ink, and I'm now trying to show you, but I won't succeed because look at that mess. This is so soft now and fluffy, and I can't even flatten it. No, it's not working. I'll show you later. I like the negative shape of the feather too. Here I tried some Matisse, but there is some serious color missing now, isn't it? And here I used the Asemic writing as well. Look. It's just an embellishment, if you so wish. It's just a means of mark making, just like the lines on the right hand side of the figure is I don't know, it's just for interest, and it's always beautiful, and it doesn't say absolutely nothing. This is also wax crayons and some ink, this ink. If you decide to get yourself some inks like these ones, the liquid little bottle things, they will last forever and ever and ever. First of all, they won't dry out. And second, if we paint with inks, we wet our brush in water, and then we just take the tip into the ink, and the whole wet brush will convert itself into pure ink. Really beautiful. Here we have a colorful one, like the little, what we did the other day. Remember I can't spit it out now. The freestyle. Yeah, the freestyle painting. And now to tell you this, to show you what I really mean, what I'm talking about all that time, is to use it, the piece of crayon, the wide way. And this can be oils or soft pastels or whatever. And see how different it looks already. Just this one is a bit funny because it's having like carved in spots. Look, this all carved in. I don't remember. Yes, I do remember what I did. Look, I was running out of ink pad, and to distress the pages of some art journal, I used this, and this is why it all got these cuts in that piece of crayon. And it's water soluble. Did we now use the water soluble? Did anybody pay attention? I didn't. Yes. Okay. And this is how, well, another way to distress. If we don't want to go with the ink pad or the dauber, then we just go like this. Perfect. All colors available, easy, cheap, beautiful. I'm checking again what exactly they are. Water soluble wax crayons. Okay. These are very cheap, by the way. This is no investment to make. Now I'm taking this piece here and see how powerful the expression is, even though it doesn't leave a lot of pigment on the paper, But then we can try, what we could try is to wet the paper, slightly wet it before or spray it, and then go this way, or take the brush later on, like now, like so. See, so the water basically is turning the wax pigment into paint. I have to tell you something. There is a German lady. She's in Germany. As you know, I'm in Austria, but she's in Germany, and she dedicated a video to me. Isn't this the sweetest thing you've ever heard? I was so in awe. I was so happy when I heard. And she was totally inspired when I said in the last video that I have such an urge and so much, I have so much fun and joy in celebrating the colors of life, to get out of the agony and get out of depending any longer on what's around us and what's happening in the world and all the negative and all the bad stuff. And I don't know, I'm so fed up with it all, and I think we have to burst out some color now, and we have to celebrate life, and we have to celebrate colors. And she got so inspired by it that she remembered that years ago she made a book, and she painted in the book. She's doing a lot of felting and making figures out of felt, and she's making little items out of wood, and she's making books where lights are on inside and all kind of beautiful stuff. But this book that she then showed, absolutely beautiful. She really knew at the time how to unleash her inner artist and how to silence the inner critic and the outer critics, and she was doing a fantastic job. And she's really, I don't know, she has a different style, and she's a totally different kind of personality. But I don't know, I thought that was just the most beautiful thing ever, that she dedicated the video, and she thanked me so much. She said, without me and that new pure lust of color, I don't know if you can say like that, but passion for color, she got so inspired. And that was cool. And she's basically now ending up her art journal and junk journal career. She said she does not want to go on with all the material and the never-ending interest of buying more stuff, more laces, more ribbons, more art supplies, more paints, more this, more that. She says she's sick and tired. She's been doing she made about 35 art journals in total, and she's very close to me. My number of art journals that I have sitting in the shelf or sold is between 30 and 40 also, but she wants to stop now. And I said, if you want to stop making art or junk journals, that's totally fine, don't worry, but please don't stop painting into your sketchbook, because she's an artist. She doesn't know, but she is. And I'm always the one who wants everybody to try and make their own art. So I'm so happy when I see that people at least try, or like in her case, succeed much more than they have ever thought before. And I will not stop making art journals and junk journals, because I love the combination that I have the total freedom of using whatever I want. As soon as we're able to make it more or less flat, we can use it, and I love the idea of mixing. Her channel is not called what you see here. I was putting this down the wrong way. It's Filz Fossil Creative. Filz, you have to put before Filz. And just in case you want to check out her channel. So now, trying one more time with a quite wide stick or piece. Okay, like so. I think there's not much pigment coming down on the paper. If we go like this, insisting a couple of times, it should be stronger. Let me try somewhat. Well, would have been nice to use some clean water, lady. Never mind. But you get the idea. For mark making, just use your crayons the other way. And I have to think about some solution of using up all these crayons. What I forgot to tell you, this little saying here, I got from my hubby when we first met. And it was very much characterizing himself as a person, as a personality, as a character, and also me. So it fits to all of us, him and me. And it says, I'm so far away from people when I'm next to them. And I'm so close if I'm far away. More or less. It's by Khalil Gibran. There was an N missing. Did you see when I just put the name in, there was an N missing? Khalil Gibran. And the thing is about this being far and being close to people. If I go downtown, for instance, and there is a group of people, and it's not between two people a conversation taking place, but it's more than two, then it's getting very superficial. And if I listen to people, I can tell that they are talking about topics, and sometimes they defend themselves even though nobody was attacking, and I can instantly tell if somebody is telling the truth or not. So they always want to seem more than they maybe are, which they shouldn't do that, because there's no need for them to be that way. And everything is so shallow and so insignificant, if you want. I don't know. And on the other hand, when I am far away, which I'm far away from you guys, I have so much love for you and so much feeling, and I feel so close, and I feel you sitting on my lap, and I feel myself sitting on yours sometimes. It's a whole, even though this is so anonymous here in the internet and we do hardly ever know each other personally, it makes me feel much closer to you than I could ever feel if I go downtown and meet a bunch of people. I can't explain no other way. It's just like that. And when I'm sitting amongst a bunch of people, I feel alone, and I realize that whenever I open my mouth and I say what I think and I communicate what I feel, that people look at me and they don't really know how to respond, basically. So it's an awkward situation for them, and for me, and it had always been that way with me. So this is why I'm living always in super remote places, and I have my family, and I'm communicative, and I'm just a normal woman, but I prefer to be by myself. It's like that. It's not good or bad, it's just, it is what it is. No biggie, really. Now, next. This one, I don't know in inches, but no, I can't. I'm checking now. I'm doing a voiceover right now, so I'm a little bit helpless. It's about 11.5 wide, and it is 12, 13.5 high, and spine is almost 2 inches, and this is made out of mulberry paper. And you guys, I love mulberry paper. And I'm not American or English. They always say they love everything. They love this, they love that. They don't mean it mean. It's just their way. But I'm a German living in Austria. And if I say I love something, then I, from the bottom of my heart, honestly do. I'm not just saying it. And mulberry paper is one of the things that I don't know why, it's touching my heart. And as you can see, the closure, just a little stick from a mulberry tree, and just some how you call that, string thingy there, hemp fiber string, and inside is covered with that violet colored mulberry paper. And here we have a fine version also of mulberry. This is a 1-layer mulberry paper, and this is a 2 or 3 layer, I'm not sure, it doesn't say, 2 or 3 layer mulberry paper. And you can see the structure, you can see the fibers. They result from the bark of the tree, of the mulberry tree, and it's really soft, feels like fabric. And this is supposed to be like a photo album, right? So we have this in-between paper to protect the surfaces of the photographs. And if we want to make an art book out of this, it will protect also our paintings. Or if some of you are working with Mod Podge, which always remains a little bit sticky, this is why I can't stand it. I glue everything with acrylic binder, but no matter what, this in-between paper is protecting everything. And I wanted to use this to start my Matisse journey and put the Matisse paintings in there. And I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Honest, I don't like it, because the Matisse motifs and the spreads I was doing, like these two to begin with, they are so colorful, and this book is so muted. It is a beauty. It really is a beauty, this book, but I won't use it for the color burst thing. I will still make an art book out of it, but I will do some specimen, real plant specimen, and paintings and drawings which are more neutral, more calm. And I can now only say in centimeters. We need the double spread measures 60 centimeters. And it's just, and we will redo this book. We take this one that you see, and we'll make some matching material and matching color in it to make an art book. So this will be many videos to come working in here. and also working in other art journals for sure, and in the Fodori also. But we will reconstruct this. We take it as a sample, not necessarily as a template, because size-wise we can go smaller. Because who has such a big paper? But then use up your rolls. Do you have any rolls of paper laying around? Old wrapping paper with Christmas theme painting on it that you don't like or that you can't see any longer, just paint over it. So if you have any paper on a roll, this is the paper to use. And cut it, flatten it. If it has been on the roll many years or a long time, then it will not flatten out easily. So we have to help it flatten out by spraying a little bit of moisture, maybe, and leaving it overnight to dry, and put something heavy on top to flatten it out, and or use the iron. There's different possibilities, you know. And now you see the color of the mulberry paper. It's cream color, almost vanilla, but it's not white. It's not, it doesn't look bad, I know, if I put this down like so. But it's not what I want. I want more color. I don't want a muted frame around it. I want black colors, bleach white color pages, orange, red, blue, the sheer color I want. And this is, we will use this for something else. Like this, for instance, this can go in here because it's from an original leaf, a photocopy. I'm searching now for mulberry paper. I want a whole roll of it. I don't have it, and it's so expensive. I'm trying to find something. And this, the binding looks like two signatures, right? But it's not. It's not. This is a super binding for me. I just love it. Look at that. Look how they did it. Isn't it wonderful? Just put your whole pack and bunch of papers in a row and make two holes on each spot. 2 here. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 holes, and an awesome binding. And what happens by doing the binding that way, we gain so much space, you guys, so much space. Look at that. Space on the top left corner. I show you. Oh, now my assistant is coming. This kind of binding allows us to have so much space. Oh, Simon. Simon helping. He loves the book. Oh, I just love my cats. I love my cats. Look at him. So he wants this one. Okay, you want that one, take it. You can have this one, I take another one. Now he wants this one also. Yeah. So anyway. Simon. So from the way this is bound, here and there, we have all that space. Now he's chewing on the strings. We have the space here, and we have a space here. There's a page torn out. This is in the way now. Let's just push it to the side. And in the middle, so I will show you that we can really fill up this book. If we put this the front, or we open up at the same width as we have the spine, then there's so much space. And now see how little space the papers take. I show you like this is best. And this is all the space we can fill up the pages. So this is an excellent way of doing bulky pages also. And making an art book. This is not going to be an art journal for sure, because writing in there won't be easy, I guess. But making an art book. Look at him. He's so cute. Look at his whiskers. And we can still put scripture in there, our asemic scripture, or we can just write on paper and then later on glue it on the pages, no problem. But we definitely will make a book just like this. So I see they have 2 pieces of chipboard or cardboard on the front. So the little frame comes into being. Back cover, very same. A huge piece of cardstock and a smaller one on top. And as a spine, we just take a long strip of cardboard. And we just put that together. We glue to make it more visible, this piece of cardstock and another cardstock, leaving a frame around. That's all about it. And then we can glue collage or paper or whatever we like, packing paper, design paper, wallpaper, cover it with anything, basically anything. And I think I feel like using up some fabrics because I have so many fabrics. And it's really cool because the only thing we have to think is that if we lay it down like this, to leave a little gap, right hand and left hand side of the spine. This is necessary for the book later to open and close easily and beautifully. And then we put our sticks, the little pieces of wood from a branch as a closure. And if we leave the gap here, then it will close beautifully. I'm listening now what I say in German. Okay, I'm talking about why it would be a good idea to either inside to cover what they put here in purple, put a piece of fabric, or the outside put a piece of fabric, because this will accept many openings and closings of the book and will never break, ever. Here, just leave the gap and we're good to go. And as I said before, size-wise can be a huge thing like this one or a tiny thing, but from the idea how this book is bound, I just love that. And I will not make my life complicated any longer by sewing in 10 signatures into a spine, and all of that is not really fun to do, but this is fun. So we take the whole bunch of papers and we find out the middle, like so. If this is the middle, then we go like 1/2 inch to the left, 1/2 inch to the right, or whatever measurement will suit you, and we just punch our holes. And I do not have like that type of crocodile that would allow me to punch holes in the middle of the pages here all the way to the center. I don't have that. So I will take the awl, and I'm showing now that the holes are so stable. They won't never rip out because the way this is bound, there is no movement on the pages. We can move the pages, but the holes will be without any, not getting stressed, not getting ripped. They're just cool. Yeah, this is my hole puncher, which is as old as I am, which is a lot. But I will not be able to use this for punching the holes here, no way. Then I have another tool which we'll use for leather belts to make some extra holes. But I cannot go in the middle with them either. There's no way. The first two holes can be done, and the bottom holes also, but these and that one in the middle, no way. Have to use the awl. And maybe we just punch into the paper and then we wiggle a little bit around to make them a little bigger. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. But see, these pages, they sit in there so firmly and they are so stable. There's no movement around the hole. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you because I'm quite happy to have found again this piece here, which I own a long time already. And yeah, again, this is not going together well. Not for my taste though. I like these little sticks there. How do you call it? A twig. A piece of twig as a closure. Beautiful. And this green background I'm talking about should be more profound, more strong. Maybe I go over. What else I have to show you? Yeah. Next, Chinese calligraphy. This is about now sumi-e and all of that stuff, all that good stuff, and they are so impressive videos in the internet. If you put sumi-e, and there's artists, they have huge brushes and they just dip them in a bucket of ink, and then they work with the whole body, and they work with the breath. It's more or less the breath that makes the painting. And this is how we write that: sumi and then an e in the end. It's not belong to the word, but it's extra. But sumi-e. And basically this is all coming from China, as I said before, and then was going to Korea. And the idea about this is to express shape with as little brush strokes as possible. This is the philosophy behind that. This is the Zen thing behind that. And the tradition is thousands of years old. As I said, coming from, originally I think they say it's coming from China, but then going to Korea and stuff. As little brush strokes as possible. This is complete reduction in first art supplies, because you need ink, you need one brush, and you need paper. And all the topics they are dealing with, as far as I have understood now, is painting only plant, flower, animal, mountain, and scripture, which is then calligraphy. I'm trying to to bring this closer. No. Hold on a second, please. Bear with me. Now we're talking. So this is about Chinese ink painting. Left hand upper side is the shades you produce with the water, the amount of ink and the amount of water. And this book is all about the basics of this kind of art. And all what you see, like the leaf or the flower, the petals, everything is always one brushstroke. No fiddling and no correcting and no trying and no developing of the shape. No, the other way, one stroke. And the first thing when we learn this kind of art is always the bamboo. This is most of the times the first lesson to learn how to paint the bamboo stick, this one. And from here to there is one stroke of a brush. And all depends, it's very, very meditative. It's very zen, it's very reduced. There's a lot of ritual with it, working with the breath. And see that stick here? This is ink. And in the old days, they made their ink with this stick. The stick is made out of different kind of woods and tree wood, and they burn it and then they put some binding material and then it gets a hard stick. And you see that little vessel, or this one, and you grind your ink. You put a couple of drops of water on the platform up there. Then you take your stick into this little bitty water and you grind. And this takes time. And this can be 10 minutes, 20 minutes, depends on how much ink you want to have. The ready-made ink then will flow into the container on the front that we see there. And this is to prepare your mind. This is to make your thoughts calm down. And this is to prepare your body, soul, and spirit. And you make your own. It's like a ritual to make your own ink. But you can also for sure use ready-made ink. Here you see the different kind of ways how to hold and how to use the brush, and so on. We will come back to this some other time because I'm always interested in this total reduction, because we have the whole world of materials with the art journal world, and as a contrast we can also sometime go to the reductive working. And this one I'm just showing you because it fell in my hand. This is Monsieur Erté. He was a Russian painter, Art Deco, Art Nouveau painter. And this is Italian language. It says the collection of the rose. And look how he painted. Isn't this amazing? Have you ever seen that? Look at that. Look at her. We can use this as inspiration to make an art journal page one day, huh? What do you think? Or a cover. See, she has no details in her face, and the body measurements are not real. It's just all made up. A cat. And look at her. We can take our music paper to make the apron. That looks like an Austrian traditional dress. And down here we could use ribbons and washi tapes, and that little foot we can draw that, no biggie. We will make it. No face details, nothing. And look at her. This Roman lady, she has no face details at all. Just like so, look. I find that just amazing. And he's not a very, very famous artist, and this is why I just take a couple of minutes just to show you. And she looks like she's selling sausages. I don't know, what did he think when he was creating that one? I have no idea. Oh man. Okay, this is just an inspiration. If you feel like making a human figure one day, then you will find these images on the internet. And I'm still waiting to get my delivery, and I'm running to the post box every day, but nothing here. I ordered the Matisse jazz book. I found it online, super cheap. I was so lucky, I was so happy. And I thought about not only painting these shapes, these Matisse shapes, but doing some prints. And the big size prints I prefer to do in the summertime, because then I do many and the sheets are so big and I need space to lay them to dry. And but I still have these two small ones, and I love the edges of a jelly print. See, this is the most beautiful part of a print, in my opinion. I mean, the focal point, yes, and the color scheme, yes, all is beautiful in a monoprint like this one, where I cut out the shape. But I have to cut them all out, and I have never or almost never get the chance to get the frame that the print produces. And this is why, like a year ago or so, I got these two jelly prints, the baby ones. This is 5 by 7 inches. And we could play around. I wanted to do this today with you, but then we do it next time, because I'm talking too much, evidently. I have too many things that I wanted to show you. But this is such a flimsy paper. If we put this on the jelly plate, which is already loaded with acrylic paint, and then we want to take it off, back off, it will most probably tear. So we could use some plastic sheets, which I do not really fancy to cut into plastic. I don't like it. But I could prepare some pieces of paper with gesso or acrylic binder, preferably both sides, to not stick them out. We'll figure that out. For everybody who is new, thank you for coming. Thanks for being with me. And if you want to support me and the channel, there's Patreon, the place to go. And what else? I don't know, I just enjoy being with you and enjoy making the videos for you. We're a special crowd, and I'm very, very proud. Mwah. Love you all.